Feeling trapped in a relationship that leaves you exhausted and questioning yourself? You're not alone. Learn how to identify the telltale signs of a trauma bond and prioritize your well-being in this empowering video. Imagine a relationship where love and fear are inextricably intertwined, where one partner walks on eggshells, constantly bracing for an unpredictable storm, yet feels an undeniable pull towards their abuser. This isn't just a toxic relationship, it's a trauma bond, a powerful and often misunderstood phenomenon. Consider Sarah and John. Sarah navigates her days with the constant trepidation of triggering John's volatile anger. Despite the emotional toll and the pervasive anxiety, she finds herself profoundly tethered to him, convinced her happiness hinges on his presence. This scenario vividly illustrates the insidious nature of trauma bonds, where a victim's sense of self and well-being becomes dangerously enmeshed with their abuser. The intricate dance of love and abuse within a trauma bond isn't confined to private lives. It can play out on the public stage. Take the recent high-profile case of a celebrity couple, where the wife courageously stepped forward, publicly detailing her husband's manipulative and abusive behaviors. What made this revelation particularly striking was her evident internal conflict, a raw expression of anger interwoven with declarations of deep affection. This public display powerfully underscored the bewildering complexity of trauma bonds, revealing how victims often find themselves in an agonizing struggle to break free from the very individuals causing them immense pain. The question of why individuals remain in such destructive relationships has long perplexed observers. However, recent scientific advancements are shedding light on the underlying mechanisms. In a groundbreaking study conducted in 2024, researchers at the University of California, Berkeley, delved into the neurological basis of trauma bonds. Their findings were significant, revealing that the intense emotional dependence and profound fear of abandonment often experienced by victims trigger the release of specific brain chemicals. These chemical reactions, in turn, contribute to an almost addiction-like attachment to the abuser, creating a powerful physiological loop that reinforces the bond despite the ongoing harm. This research offers a crucial window into understanding the deep-seated, often subconscious forces at play in these complex relationships. Recognizing red flags. Emotional dependence, often subtly at first, can gradually erode your sense of self and well-being within a relationship. It's crucial to identify these warning signs early to foster healthier relationship dynamics. Defending unacceptable behavior. If you find yourself constantly defending your partner's actions to others, even when you know deep down they're wrong, this could be a significant sign of emotional dependence. This isn't about healthy support. It's about rationalizing or excusing behavior that is harmful, disrespectful, or clearly unacceptable. Think about reality shows like Love is Blind, where contestants, despite glaring red flags and obvious toxicity, remain deeply attached and make excuses for their partners. This vividly demonstrates how emotional dependence can warp judgment and overshadow rational thought, making it incredibly difficult to see the relationship objectively. It's a pattern where the need to preserve the relationship, regardless of its true nature, outweighs acknowledging problematic behavior. Prioritizing their needs over your own. Another critical red flag is consistently prioritizing your partner's needs over your own, even when it clearly and negatively impacts your well-being. This can manifest in various ways, from sacrificing personal goals and aspirations to neglecting your physical and mental health. A recent study in the Journal of Psychological Trauma highlighted that individuals caught in trauma bonds frequently exhibit a pattern of self-sacrifice and emotional suppression, often at their own expense. For example, consider someone who repeatedly puts their partner's career advancement ahead of their own professional development or personal dreams, leading to feelings of resentment or stagnation. This isn't healthy compromise, it's a consistent deferment of your own needs, often fueled by a fear of conflict or abandonment. Making excuses for their actions. Are you constantly making excuses for your partner's behavior, both to yourself and to others? This is a strong indicator of emotional dependence, often veering into the territory of trauma bonding. This goes beyond just simply trying to understand their perspective. It's about actively justifying actions that are hurtful, manipulative, or abusive. A recent survey revealed that a significant majority, 75% of individuals who experienced trauma bonds reported feeling compelled to rationalize their abuser's actions to themselves and those around them. This internal and external justification can create a distorted reality, making it incredibly difficult to break free from harmful cycles. It's a coping mechanism that allows you to remain in a difficult situation by minimizing or reinterpreting your partner's negative impact. Recognizing red flags' behavioral patterns. Trauma bonds can be insidious, weaving a complex web of emotional and psychological manipulation that often goes unnoticed by those entangled in them. Recognizing the behavioral shifts within yourself is a crucial first step toward understanding if you're in a trauma-bonded relationship. Eroding self-esteem and constant validation seeking. A significant red flag is a noticeable decline in your self-esteem since the relationship began. Trauma bonds thrive on undermining your sense of self-worth. You might find yourself constantly seeking validation from your partner, feeling inadequate or incomplete without their approval. This can manifest as an obsessive need for compliments, reassurance, or even permission to make personal decisions. You may second-guess your own judgments and abilities, becoming increasingly reliant on your partner's opinions. This erosion of self-esteem is a direct consequence of the abuser's tactics, which often involve belittling, criticizing, and devaluing you to gain control. You might find yourself making excuses to avoid social gatherings or feeling a sense of dread when faced with the prospect of interacting with people outside the relationship. Cognitive distortions and internalized blame. A particularly insidious aspect of trauma bonds is the development of cognitive distortions. As highlighted by a 2025 study by the National Institute for Mental Health, individuals with trauma bonds often experience warped thought processes that lead them to believe they are responsible for the abuser's actions or that the abuse is somehow justified. This can be seen in cases where victims internalize blame for the abuser's aggression or violence. You might think to yourself, if only I had done X, they wouldn't have gotten angry. Or, they only act this way because they love me so much. These distortions are a survival mechanism, a way for your mind to cope with the unbearable reality of being in an abusive relationship, but they ultimately trap you further in the cycle of abuse. This twisted logic prevents you from seeing the abuse for what it is and makes it incredibly difficult to break free. Breaking free from a trauma bond isn't just a process, it's a profound odyssey of self-discovery and healing. It's crucial to deeply internalize one fundamental truth. What happened to you is not your fault. You are, and always have been, worthy of relationships built on health, respect, and genuine connection. Though the path can be challenging, countless individuals have navigated this very journey, reclaiming their lives and finding true freedom. Consider Jessica's powerful story. For years, she was trapped in an abusive relationship, bound by an insidious trauma bond. But one day, something shifted. Her turning point arrived when she reached out for professional support, finding a therapist specializing in trauma. With this guidance, Jessica began to unravel the complex dynamics of her past, to process the deep emotional wounds, and piece by painful piece, she gained the strength and resilience needed to break free and rebuild her life on her own terms. Her journey is a testament to the transformative power of specialized support. Phase 1. Acknowledgement and understanding, lifting the veil. The very first step on this healing path is often the hardest, acknowledging the abuse pattern and truly grasping its profound impact on your life. This isn't just about recalling specific incidents, it's about recognizing how the trauma bond has subtly, yet powerfully, reshaped your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You'll start by recognizing the subtle, insidious signs of a trauma bond. You'll see the cycle of abuse, the calm, the tension, the explosion, and the fleeting honeymoon phase that keeps you hooked. You'll understand the emotional addiction, that intense roller coaster of highs and lows you once mistook for passionate love. There's also the unsettling cognitive dissonance, that constant battle between what you know is wrong and the urge to rationalize their actions, often due to their gaslighting. You'll become aware of the loss of self, how pieces of your identity, self-worth, and boundaries slowly eroded, and that deep-seated fear of abandonment or loneliness. You'll acknowledge how it kept you tethered, even in pain. Finally, you'll identify the tendency to justify their behavior or blame yourself. This phase also calls for journaling and self-reflection. As you document incidents, emotions, and thought patterns, you'll create tangible evidence, externalizing what you've held inside. You'll trace the timeline of the relationship, pinpointing key moments and recurring patterns. And importantly, you'll allow yourself to explore every feeling: anger, sadness, confusion, fear, even lingering attachment without judgment. Educating yourself becomes a powerful weapon. Dive into books, articles, and reputable resources on trauma bonds, narcissistic abuse, and coercive control. Knowledge is power. It helps you name your experience, confirm it's a recognized pattern, and realize it's not a personal failing. Understanding the psychological tactics abusers use, gaslighting, love bombing, and triangulation, will strip them of their power. Phase 2. Seeking professional guidance, finding your compass. While self-help is invaluable, the intricate web of trauma bonds often demands the skilled hand of a professional. This isn't a journey you need to walk alone. Your quest begins with identifying the right therapist. Seek out those who explicitly state their expertise in trauma, PTSD, domestic violence, and narcissistic abuse. This specialization is vital, as a general therapist might not fully grasp the complex nuances of trauma bonds. Look for practitioners trained in trauma-informed approaches like EMDR, somatic experiencing, or internal family systems. Most importantly, compatibility and trust are paramount. The therapeutic relationship itself is a cornerstone of healing. You must feel safe, heard, and respected. Don't hesitate to interview a few before committing. The role of therapy in healing is multifaceted. It provides a safe harbor to process traumatic memories, allowing you to revisit and integrate painful experiences without being overwhelmed. A therapist offers invaluable validation for your experience, helping to dismantle self-blame and doubt. You'll learn vital coping mechanisms to navigate flashbacks, emotional dysregulation, and anxiety. They'll guide you in reconstructing your narrative, shifting from a victim to a survivor. And often, therapy helps address attachment wounds, exploring how past patterns might have made you vulnerable to such a bond, guiding you toward healthier attachment styles. Beyond individual therapy, support groups offer an incredible sense of community. Connecting with others who share similar experiences can be profoundly validating, dissolving feelings of isolation and offering shared wisdom and new perspectives. Phase 3. Establishing boundaries and detachment, reclaiming your space. This is the pivotal phase where you begin to create vital physical and emotional distance from the abuser, slowly but surely reclaiming your personal space and sovereignty.
No contact, if safe and possible, is often the gold standard. Blocking phone numbers, social media, and emails, and avoiding shared places. This absolute cutoff is usually the most effective way to shatter the bond. Be prepared for what's known as hoovering, the abuser's attempts to lure you back with false promises, apologies, threats, or feigned distress. Recognize these for what they are: manipulative tactics, not genuine remorse. If no contact isn't immediately possible due to shared children, finances, or safety concerns, then safety planning becomes paramount. Work with a professional to devise a detailed strategy, which might involve supervised exchanges or legal orders. Then comes emotional detachment. This means actively working to redirect your thoughts away from the abuser. When thoughts of them arise, acknowledge them, then consciously shift your focus to something else, a task, a hobby, a positive memory. Understand that breaking a trauma bond involves processing grief, not just for the relationship, but for the future you imagined, the potential of the abuser, and even the parts of yourself you lost. Allow yourself to feel this grief without judgment. Visualizations and affirmations can be powerful tools. Imagine a protective shield around yourself, or repeat affirmations like, "I am safe and free," or "I deserve peace." Crucially, you'll start setting firm boundaries. If any contact is unavoidable, clearly define the parameters. Only discuss child-related matters, no personal conversations. Emotionally, you'll learn not to engage in discussions or justifications with the abuser. Keep interactions brief, factual, and neutral. And for digital boundaries, block and unfriend. Seeing their online activity can easily trigger a relapse of the bond.
Phase 4. Rebuilding self-worth and identity. Rediscovering your true north. The trauma bond often strips away your very sense of self. This phase is about patiently, lovingly rediscovering and nurturing the person you are outside of that oppressive dynamic. It's time to rediscover your authentic self. Ask yourself, what truly matters to me? What principles do I want to live by? Reconnecting with your core values provides a crucial compass for your new life. Explore past hobbies and interests that you abandoned during the relationship. This helps you reconnect with the parts of your pre-abuse identity. Don't be afraid to try new things. Engage in novel experiences that foster new skills, expand your comfort zone, and create positive new memories. Most importantly, consciously define your identity independently. Articulate who you are without reference to the abuser or the past relationship. What are your strengths, your passions, your goals? This phase is also about embracing self-compassion and self-care. Practice self-forgiveness, releasing the burden of self-blame. Understand that you were caught in a complex, manipulative situation. Nurturing your inner child means acknowledging and comforting the wounded parts of yourself impacted by the trauma, offering them reassurance and validation. Prioritize physical health. Good nutrition, regular exercise, and adequate sleep are foundational for emotional and mental well-being. These are powerful acts of self-love. Mindfulness and meditation will help you stay present, observe thoughts without judgment, and reduce anxiety. Finally, consciously use affirmations and positive self-talk. Actively challenge the negative self-talk that originated from the abuse. Replace "I'm not good enough" with "I am capable and worthy." Create and regularly repeat affirmations that reinforce your healing, strength, and inherent worth. Phase 5. Cultivating healthy relationships and support systems. Building a new world. As you heal, you'll naturally begin to seek out and build healthier connections, laying the groundwork for a more fulfilling future.
The journey begins with rebuilding trust. Start by investing in trusted friendships, healthy family relationships, and your therapeutic alliance. As you do, you'll learn to discern healthy versus unhealthy dynamics in new relationships. Apply the knowledge gained from understanding abuse to evaluate new connections. Look for consistent respect, clear communication, reciprocal nature, and an absence of control or manipulation. Remember to take it slow. Don't rush into new romantic relationships. Give yourself ample time to heal, solidify your boundaries, and develop a strong sense of self before venturing into new romantic territory. Next, focus on building a strong support network. Lean on trusted friends and family who genuinely care and offer unconditional support. Join new communities or engage in activities aligned with your interests, hobby clubs, volunteer organizations, spiritual groups. These create opportunities for organic, healthy connections, and continue to maintain therapeutic relationships for as long as it feels beneficial, especially as you navigate the complexities of new relationship dynamics. Finally, you'll focus on establishing healthy relationship patterns. Practice clear communication, asserting your needs, feelings, and boundaries respectfully. Seek out relationships built on mutual respect and equality, where power is balanced and both individuals' needs are valued. Learn healthy conflict resolution, navigating disagreements constructively without blame or avoidance. And strive for independence and interdependence, building relationships where both individuals maintain their autonomy while also supporting each other in balanced, healthy ways. Remember, healing isn't a straight line. There will be moments of progress and moments of challenge. Be patient and compassionate with yourself every step of the way. Each breath you take, each boundary you set, each moment of self-compassion is a testament to your incredible strength and resilience. Now we talk about moving forward, empowering yourself. Because breaking free is just the first step. Building a life of peace, joy, and authentic connection is the beautiful destination. Rebuilding the foundation, trust in yourself and others. After navigating the complexities of a trauma bond, one of the most crucial tasks before you is to rebuild trust. And not just trust in others, but profoundly, fundamentally, trust in yourself. You see, these experiences can chip away at your self-belief, making you question your judgment, your instincts, and your ability to discern healthy from unhealthy. But I want you to know, with every fiber of your being, that you can restore that trust, and you can create relationships that truly nourish your soul. This journey of rebuilding begins with establishing clear, firm boundaries. Think of boundaries as invisible fences around your emotional and physical well-being. They're not about keeping people out, they're about defining where you end and another person begins, about protecting your peace. This might mean learning to say no without guilt, communicating your needs directly, or even limiting contact with individuals who consistently disrespect your limits. It's a powerful act of self-love, teaching others how to treat you, and more importantly, teaching yourself that you are worthy of respect. As you do this, you'll also sharpen your ability to recognize unhealthy patterns in your interactions with others. Your gut instinct, which might have been silenced or distorted in the past, will start to speak louder. You'll learn to spot the red flags, the inconsistencies, the manipulative language, the subtle attempts at control that you might have overlooked before. This isn't about becoming cynical. It's about becoming discerning, about trusting that inner voice that whispers, "This doesn't feel right." By honoring that voice, you empower yourself to step away from what doesn't serve you and gravitate towards connections that uplift and genuinely support you. This is how you begin to weave a new tapestry of healthy relationships, one thread of trust at a time.
Now let's talk about something truly vital: nurturing your soul through self-care. This isn't a luxury, it's a non-negotiable part of your healing and empowerment. After all you've been through, your emotional well-being deserves your utmost attention. Self-care isn't just about bubble baths, though those can certainly be lovely. It's about intentionally engaging in activities that replenish your energy, soothe your spirit, and bring genuine joy into your life. This could look different for everyone, and that's the beauty of it. Perhaps it's reconnecting with hobbies you once loved but set aside. Painting, playing an instrument, writing, or cooking. Maybe it's about moving your body in a way that feels good, not punitive. A brisk walk, a gentle yoga session, dancing freely in your living room. Or perhaps it's finding solace and perspective by spending time in nature, a quiet moment in a park, a hike on a trail, or simply sitting by a window and watching the clouds drift by. The key is to listen to what your body, mind, and spirit truly need. These acts of self-care are not selfish. They are essential. They are how you refill your cup, how you rebuild your inner strength, and how you remind yourself that you are worthy of peace and happiness. When you prioritize your well-being, you send a powerful message to yourself. I matter. My healing matters. My joy matters. And that message, my friends, is truly empowering.
Embracing the journey, resilience, and compassion. Finally, let's talk about the nature of healing itself. Please, remember this. Healing is a journey, not a destination, and it is rarely, if ever, a linear path. There will be days when you feel immense progress, when the sun shines brightly and you feel truly free. And then, there will be days when setbacks occur, when old triggers resurface, or when the weight of the past feels heavy again. This is not a failure. This is simply part of the process. On those challenging days, the most important thing you can do is to be kind to yourself. Practice radical self-compassion. Speak to yourself with the same gentle understanding you would offer a dear friend. Acknowledge the pain. Allow yourself to feel it, and then remind yourself that you are strong enough to move through it. You are not weak for having these moments. You are human, and you are healing. And please, celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Did you set a boundary today? That's a victory. Did you choose a self-care activity instead of spiraling? That's incredible. Every single step forward, every moment of self-awareness, every act of self-love is a testament to your incredible strength and resilience. Take a moment to truly acknowledge your strength and resilience. Look at how far you've come. You faced immense challenges, and you are still here, still moving forward, still choosing yourself. That is true power.
And finally, never forget this crucial truth. You are not alone. There are countless others who have walked this path, who understand, and who are ready to offer support. Reach out to trusted friends, family, a therapist, or a support group. Lean on your community. Your journey is unique, but the human experience of healing and growth is universal. Thank you for joining me on this important conversation. Remember, every day is a new opportunity to empower yourself, to choose healing, and to build the beautiful life you truly deserve. Keep moving forward, one brave step at a time.